Tides of Annihilation was announced 2 days ago, and after the announcement we got a juicy gameplay trailer. A while back I put out a video talking how I felt we were entering into the renaissance of character action games, and with the announcement of Tides of Annihilation, I truly believe the renaissance era for action games is upon us. Because looking at this gameplay, all I have to say is that I am excited. I'm Isaac, and if you want to hear more of my stories, be sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's continue. I decided to go over the trailer and analyze and break it down as best I could so I could bring you guys this information. Starting with the story. Our heroine Gwendolyn, who finds herself in the city of London under an invasion of what seems to be called scarlet water. Maybe this is some type of alien creature that uses scarlet water to infect whatever planet it's currently invading. The scarlet water seems to have reality warping properties and seems to be very dangerous to the touch. Run! Luckily, Gwendolyn will not have to travel alone because she's going to be accompanied by Nyan, a magical girl that can transform into a bird, but most notably, she will also be able to turn into a weapon. Yes, she will be the weapon that you use throughout the game.
A cheap trick!
However, a sword is not going to be enough to take on the challenge of the Scarlet Water, so Gwendolyn will have to arm herself with the Knights of the Round Table, granting her powers, new weapons, and new abilities. However, it seems by collecting these knights, it makes Gwendolyn a candidate to become king? Question mark? I'm not 100% sure, which puts a target on her back from her former possibly friend or teacher, Mordred, who is also referred to as Pendragon. I don't know if that's a title or actual name. And it seems like Mordred is in the race to become king and will stop at nothing to gain this title, even if it means having to go through you. The feeling that I'm getting is that Mordred is going to be the primary antagonist for a majority of the game, and the Scarlet Water invasion is going to be the overarching threat, and then towards the end of the game, Mordred is either going to team up with us and we're going to fight the Scarlet Rot together, or we're going to find out that Mordred was under the control of someone else this entire time and was nothing but a puppet. Moving on to the environment, it seems like we're going to be getting a level-based game. I don't think it's going to be open world. I think it is going to be hub world at best we're getting, and the reason why I'm thinking we're getting a level-based game is because throughout the trailer, there are certain sections where you cannot double back. For example, whenever an area gets infected with the Scarlet Rot, this area will completely change and will then deny you access to returning. Not only, after completing a puzzle throughout the level, you can then jump into a window, and Gwendolyn specifically says that jumping past this point means not being able to return back.
Once we go in, there's no turning back. We need to be prepared.
But don't worry for those of you who like exploration, because there will be chests and puzzles throughout the game, which definitely means there's going to be minor to medium exploration so that you could find these secret chests. I also saw in an article that there will be outfits in the game. They will not be equipment, they're going to be purely cosmetic, but this will probably encourage people to explore every nook of cranny in the level. And lastly, when it comes to environment, we are going to be exploring London, and whenever we need to take a break, we will be able to rest at a fog crystal, which is this game's version of a site of grace. Now to get to the meat and potatoes of the video, let's talk about combat. This is going to be a game in the same vein of Devil May Cry. It's looking like we're going to be getting directional inputs with our combos and less of a trigger pull type of scenario. We're also going to be getting a double jump and an air dash, which I'm very happy. Not to mention, we are getting a parry and a grab as well, which when you enter combat, you'll have to manage 3 bars, green being your health, blue being your mana, and then the gray bar, I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I think it's most likely going to be your focus meter. Because throughout the game, you're going to see whenever a Gwendolyn takes damage, that bar will then go down. And as she does damage, that bar will then fill up once again. But on the other side, when you're fighting a boss, they'll have a gray bar underneath their health bar, and it seems like when you reduce that gray bar to 0, that seems like it's going to open them up for a critical attack, which leads me to believe that that gray bar for bosses exclusively is going to be a posture meter. Speaking of fighting bosses, you're not going to be entering combat alone because, as they mentioned, this is a co-op single player game. You'll be entering the arena with your knights, and as of right now, it seems like you're going to be able to have a maximum of 3 knights with you at a time. Each knight will have a different weapon and a different element associated to them. Looking at the trailer, it seems like knights will power up your regular moves. Like if you have a lunge attack akin to Dante's Stinger, if you were to do it with the Ice Knight equipped, your Stinger will then do ice damage, and there'll be a knight next to you creating a bigger area of effect, but it's essentially the same attack. And for those of you who like to use their knights as much as possible, it seems like not all knight attacks are going to cost mana. However, the ones that do cost mana are going to be costing you quite a hefty chunk, but not to worry because mana is going to be regenerable. It is not going to be an FP flask type of situation. On the topic of items, you will have consumables available to you. You will have healing items, and it does not seem like we are going to be getting a Estus flask like an Elden Ring. It looks like we're going to be getting consumable items that once you use them, they are gone. So be careful how you use them. But if that wasn't enough, you're also going to have a rage meter, Spartan rage, whatever you want to call it. And it seems like when you're in this powered up state, none of your knight abilities are going to cost you any mana whatsoever, allowing you to unleash powered up attack after powered up attack. After hitting an enemy enough times with a powered up attack, it hopefully will leave them open when you'll know that they're open once the lock-on reticle becomes red, which will allow you to grab them, dealing massive damage or essentially using a combo finisher on the enemy. And most important of all, to me at least, you're going to be able to switch weapons on the fly in the midst of combat. You're going to have more than one weapon available to you. It seems like your weapons are going to have a connection to your knights. So far, the weapons that we've seen the knights use are fists, blade, and bow. That's all the information I was able to discern from the trailer. Let me know if I missed anything in the comment section down below. While you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe because we're on the way to 400. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.